jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best. You gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy. Is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports,
First in the building, Big Blunts and Boxing on deck. Salute to you, GOAT. What's good? You already know what it is. WCS back at it on a Sunday morning to talk this epic boxing talk. Yes, sir, indeed, man. Carlos Rosado is on deck, man. You already know, man. Fight of the year last night. Man, we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that if you're speaking about Emmanuel Navarrete and Oscar Valdez. True Meat Today, USA Boxing. Coach Malachi in the building. Salute to you, Coach. How you feeling, man? Smoke Session Sports Entertainment. Blunts, what it do? Tyrese, what's good? What up, fellas? Salute to you. I appreciate that Smoke Session WCS with hot grease. Yeah, you already know. WJ Luckett, salute WCS. The haters were mad as hell while the parade was underway. They were talking about how Bud needs to fight Boots. They can't stop that dang buzz that was going through them Omaha streets. You know what I'm saying? They can't stop the buzz that was on the Omaha streets. And what made them even more mad, the coach was up there right behind him on the parade. And you know how they got down, they plotting and scheming against coach. You know what I'm saying? Shit. God damn it. Who authorized that? God damn it. Shoot, I know some aerosexuals that was in that crowd. I know. Boxing God 7 at work got my notification and got my earbuds in listening. Yes, sir. Appreciate y'all. If you can do me a favor and hit the like button. But even bigger shout out, salute to the hottest chat in the MFing game, A-Side Official. You already know. I'm getting my guy to do me another intro. Yes, sir. I'm getting that artist to do me another intro. I'm just trying to put the stuff together. You definitely gonna have I'm gonna put my tag in there, the hottest chat in the game. Yes, sir. Definitely gonna look out for you. Yes, sir. Gilbert, what's good? Good morning to everyone in the chat. Salute to you, bro. Don Vaughn on deck. Salute WCS in the chat. Shaw News, the Sauce Experience, aka Showtime Shaw, is in the building. What's good with the Showtime? Salute to everybody that showed up this morning. We got a little bit to unpack. Of course, the big parade of all parades, highlighting July 29th T-Mobile Massacre, was live and live in color. We're going to get to that. You know what I'm saying? Because once we get to that, it's no turning back to talk about the fights that jumped off. I like what I seen yesterday. I want to first start off and speak about a couple of fights, but primarily the fight of Gary Antoine Russell and Kent Cruz. Kent Cruz was 16-0, y'all. 3 draws with 10 knockouts. So we always talking about the standard of boxing. What is the standard? We don't know the standard, because when you see guys go in there and get wiped out, going in there against a challenger, a title contender, and Gary Antoine Russell, you say to yourself, well, he had the numbers. Hey, it's no different than, the way Devin Haney record used to be, the way Jerron Ennis record is right now. A lot of guys, building up their record. Boxing allows that to happen. But Kent Cruz came in at 16-0, and every one of them ain't the same. Some guys who haven't been in there with certain people, their record is like that for a reason. And the last Don, and shout out to Shaw News, man. He was the first one to really introduce me to the Russell brothers. You know what I'm saying? Very conscious-minded individual, intelligent brother. Seriously. Very intelligent brother. But I remember me and Shaw News is in Brooklyn, and we was doing our media gig, and he turned me on to, at that time, Errol Spencer's uncle. And then he said the Russell brothers was coming down there. So, we kind of had a threading moment of doing media, because he was doing an interview with him, and I was eavesdropping on Shaw News interview with Antoine Russell, and I said, damn, that brother he had his head on straight, man. And he can fight. The Russell brothers different. They're apex predators. So I was able to get my first interview. But getting back to the square, he ran through Kent Cruz like he was supposed to. Yeah, because Kent Cruz, man, this dude has like 6 debut fighters on his resume. You know what I'm saying? He was supposed to go in there and demolish this guy. When he did finally step in there and fight a guy with a record, he fought a 2-0 guy. You know what I'm saying? Guy Smith Jr. And this was a still a 4-rounder, but he fought a 2-0 guy, and it was sporadic here and there. He got another 11-0 guy on his record, a 3-0 guy, a 3-0 guy, and then he fought Antoine Russell, who's a 16-0 guy. But they weren't on the same levels yesterday, as you see. Antoine Russell pretty much steamrolled this guy, like it was almost like running down the hall in elementary, the way it used to be. You're a 7th grader, and you end up running into a 2nd grader and knock him over. 2nd grader start crying and bawling out, talking about you assaulted him. That's probably what Kent Cruz felt like yesterday, because Antoine Russell assaulted the shit out of him, man. He wasn't even on the same level. But that's boxing. It allows you to insulate your record. You know what I'm saying? You put the right insulation in there, that's where you're supposed to be. You can build up the numbers. In boxing, numbers will always give you a 2-sided story. Remember, I told you this. Numbers will give you the right and the wrong side. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to this boxing, you can have the high numbers in your on your resume, and to the naked eye, those numbers look very well and appeasing. But until you dig into somebody's resume and evaluate the quality of opposition they fought within their resume, internally to their resume, you get moments like this. And that's to take nothing away from Antoine, man. He did what he's supposed to do last night. Antoine Russell went in there and destroyed this dude and looked strong. You know what I'm saying? Antoine Russell looked strong, 16-0 at 140 pounds. You know what I'm saying? Southpaw, 27 years old. And he's had his highlights moments. Bartholomew finished him in 6. You know what I'm saying? Victor Posel finished him in 10th round stoppage. Giovanni Santiago got him up out of there. You know what I'm saying? If you look at his record, the man has 17 KO. Stop playing. Stop playing. We all know what that means, though. It is gonna get to a point in Antoine's career that he's gonna have to face somebody that's there, and I believe he's ready for that. Real talk, because he got Gary Russell, man. Look, bro, come on, man. You know what them Russell's brothers about. They're gonna prepare him well, and when he gets his shot, the title shot up there, he's gonna make good on it, in my opinion. But if I go through his resume, he has KO and TKOs. So hopefully that's enough for people to get behind him, because we've learned on the YTC that TKOs for some of these naive individuals, they don't mean shit. You know what I'm saying? But they do. They count as KOs. All right? They count as KOs. Whether it's a stoppage via the referee stopping, or you just knock them clean out and they can't make the 8 count. But he improves to 17-0, 17 knockouts, unblemished across the slate. You know what I'm saying? Shout out and salute to Gary Antoine Russell and putting on an absolutely clinic yesterday and getting that guy up out of there. Moving on to the it was one other fight that, Jose Benavidez Jr. Jose Benavidez Jr. is 27-2, and the first man to hand him his loss when he was 27 victories, and was Terrence Bud Crawford. And he moved up 154, and he had his recent loss against Danny Garcia, but he was on the undercard, bro. He was in there with the guy who was 36-15-0. I don't know why. I think Benavidez is a lot better boxer than to fight somebody 36-15, but I don't know, bro. I have no idea what's going on with this. But shout out to Jose Benavidez. I actually like him as a fighter. Seriously, Marcus Brown, and he's the older brother, David Benavidez, not the younger brother. And Marcus Brown was in there 24-2, rather, fighting up there at light heavyweight. He went in there and defeated Adrian Taylor in a 10-round decision. And then the one that people probably talking about on this particular card is Trayvon Marshall. Trayvon Marshall, if you don't remember, Trayvon Marshall fought a guy by the name of Gabriel Maestre, right? And Trayvon Marshall is a fighter out of Capitol Heights. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it was promise. It still is promise. He's only 22 years old, but he was decimated yesterday. It happens in boxing. You know what I'm saying? He was undefeated heading into this fight, 8-0, 7 knockouts. You know what I'm saying? Looking good. You know what I'm saying? Good enough to step in there. He was in there with the guy and Gabriel Maestre, which I'm going to be honest with you. He's a 36-year-old fighter. He has his Olympic pedigree, but I don't like this guy, man. I still haven't got over the fact on what he did with Michael Fox. I'm going to be honest, man. I don't like that shit. All that attempted cheating and all that, manipulating the gloves. Nobody talk about him because he's not a popular name. He's an older fighter. But the crazy part about it, Terrence Crawford is 36 years old September. If he would have did some shit like that, they never would have let him live it down. But this man got caught trying to manipulate the fitting of his gloves by thumbing the padding to a certain area of the glove, thinning, or whatever they call it, thinning or thumbing, whatever. And then, the referee caught it and allowed him to change out gloves. He goes in there and gets his ass beat by Michael Fox. They rob Michael Fox and give the win to Maestre. Team Michael Fox put in a petition to have that shit changed, and it wasn't changed. And he goes in here, Michael Fox at the time was 22-2. All right. Maestre, look, check this out. He goes in there the next fight, and he fights in Canada. You know, when they get caught cheating in the U.S., they go over, somewhere else and hide out a little bit. So he goes over there and fights some guy named Taurus, 19-0, and goes to a draw, a split draw, right? And then he fights an older Devin Alexander, right? And Carson. And he stops him in the third round. Alexander down in round 2, unable to continue after round 3. I wonder if anybody gonna tie that back to Sean Porter, when he beat Devin Alexander and then take it away from Crawford, you know what I'm saying? And all this other shit they try to tie in. You know what I'm talking about. But he comes back for his second fight and this year at the MGM and fight Trayvon Marshall, who's 8-0. Now, granted, most of this guy's fights, being in his short career, most of them had much more experience than Trayvon Marshall. Most of them had, pretty much more experience, had more wins. You know what I'm saying? And Trayvon Marshall being a younger fighter that was supposed to go in there at 22 years old and be that young lion and put it on this 36-year-old guy. He goes in there and gets steamrolled in the second round, steamrolled by this 36-year-old guy. And Maestre is running around there talking about, yeah, dude, you got caught cheating, man. And they didn't punish him for it. I don't know because who his coach is, what his trainer. I don't know if it was because of that. It was connection there. But I really don't like Maestre, man. Not because he beat up Marshall the way it's good. I really don't have no attachment to Marshall, except we are black men in America. I'm just saying Marshall was touched up. You know what I'm saying? He was in them ropes. You know what I'm saying? He was tangled up in them ropes, goddammit. He was looking like a dang tree branch in a storm. You know what I'm saying? He was just all over the place. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you couldn't tell me anything, bro. Dude was in the ropes like some lost tumbleweed. I'll say, God damn, this 36-year-old putting hands on him like that. Maybe they took him for granted. But he's gonna have to come back. He's 8-1. He's gonna have to come back and make it work, man. I'm not dogging the young brother out, man. He fought back. Real talk. Marshall attempted to fight back. He just didn't have it. He didn't have it. He fought. Nigga ain't no punk. Trayvon Marshall was fighting back, goddammit. He ain't no punk. But he was just in there with the dude who I'm wondering to myself, did they make sure they check his gloves? Because the time he got caught, he had on red gloves. I don't know if it's the same brand gloves, but he had on red gloves. You know what I'm saying? And dude up here massaging his hand. Look, they bring that dude in there. He's 2-0 at the time, I think, when he fought Michael Fox. You know what I'm saying? I think he was 2-0, bro. Real talk. I think he was 2-0. I was like, damn, bro. You know what I'm saying? It sucked. I think he was 2-0. Real talk. 3-0. I'll say 3-0. Hold on for a second. Let me get to the chat right quick. Chuck Love Boxing, what's good? I see you. Happy Sunday. Came to get this church. Yes, sir. You already know. You already know. Them Omaha coin hustlers really got the Spence pack in them streets. Okay. I saw you mention that. I'm not a smoker, so I saw you put that out there. You know what I'm saying? How was the Spence pack though? I don't even know what that shit is. I don't know, call it smoke or what type of strain. What? Them Omaha corn hustlers really got the they showed major love to Bud. That parade was lit. You can tell Bud's connected to the community. Salute to his team. Yeah, we're gonna get to that. You know, I had to get this other one out the way because I know I ain't going back to this once I'm done. You know what I'm saying? But let me put up my thumbnail, of course. You know what I'm saying? Let y'all take a look at that while I get back to this. So with Gabriel Maestre, man, he was 3-0 when he fought Michael Fox the first time and got caught cheating. And he lost that fight. But they gave it to Michael Fox. And, you know, I don't know why they was screwing over Michael Fox, but Michael Fox had just came off a loss. And then he took some time off and came back over a year later and lost a UD to Igis Kavalauskas. But truth be told, for Maestre, 36 years old, 6-0 now, I believe. Him beating picking up that win yesterday, it is what it is, man. You know what I'm saying? Trayvon Marshall, he's gonna have to regroup and come back. It was a fight for Trayvon to win. You know what I'm saying? It was a fight for him to win. He didn't get it done. So I wish nothing but good for the brother to return, get himself together, and return to the sport, man. You fought during the storm. You tried your best. You couldn't get it done, man. You know what I'm saying? It would have been good if you just, created a little bit of space. But being up against them ropes is not good. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you got somebody that's just welling away. And like I said, I don't know if them gloves was good or not. But if they want to talk about somebody cheating with gloves, they're not going to talk about that. Because that man got caught in the ring with fucked up gloves and still was able to continue to compete. Still was allowed to compete, y'all. After he was already in the ring, you know what I'm saying? You know, I wonder if they want to do a live stream on who was watching him wrap his hands and put them gloves on. I wonder who was there then. But it is what it is, man. But shout out to, Trayvon Marshall. He'll be back, at 147 pounds, hopefully not too long. He did take some heat. You know what I'm saying? And for Gabriel Maestre, you're going to get yours, brother. You're going to get yours for cheating. You know what I'm saying? I know he's with Salas. Salas don't have anything to do with it, but that dude got caught cheating, man. Y'all trying to fast track that Venezuelan fighter who's 36 years old right now, bro. That wasn't cool, man. Michael Fox could have been seriously injured in that. Moving on to the top rank. You know what I'm saying? The flagship of promotions. No matter how they try to compete, it's no competition. I want to start off by Richard Torres Jr. He fought Willie Jake Jr. And for me, when I hear a dude named Willie Jake, I say, there got to be a brother right there. You look, you can't put in an application. I'm a manager and think he's going to be anonymous. And I look on there and say, Willie Jake Jr., that's a brother right there. Where you at? I can go out there and they waiting in the lobby. I say, hey, Willie Jake, come here. You're like, how you know me? Oh, just you're the only brother in here. Willie Jake came here with 11 victories and 3 losses and 2 draws. Heavyweight. He's facing up and coming. You know what I'm saying? The Olympian, pedigree, the Richard Torres Jr. fighting a heavyweight, who was 5-0 at the time. Now, if you've been to some of these fights, these regional fights, Willie Jake has been in there with the likes of Grover Young. You know what I'm saying? For those of you that's been to some of these fights, he's a journeyman, of course. Grover Young, he's been in there with Stephen Shaw. You know what I'm saying? He lost Stephen Shaw, Frank Sanchez. Jamal Woods. Alante Green, Antoine Tubbs. So this guy right here, at one point in time in his career, his intentions was to be something in boxing, but that has since left. You know what I'm saying? He has 4 losses. He's still getting work, and he's 40 years old. You know what I'm saying? So Richard Torres did what he's supposed to do. Point blank, period. You know what that was? He went in there and got him up out in the first round. He stepped on him. You know, he used him as a stepping stone. He stepped on this guy. You know what I'm saying? 24 years old is Torres to a 40-year-old, opponent and Jake Jr. And he got him up out of there. But my question is, when is it gonna, get to a point where, he's gonna fight somebody that is considered a competitive, because these guys are just, he has a 1-round stoppage, 1-round stoppage, 3-round stoppage, 1-round stoppage, 1-round stoppage. And I get it. He's doing 6-rounders right now. I get it. So I mean, if you're gonna feed him softies, damn, don't make it like super soft, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Soft serve ice cream. You know what I'm saying? Soft serve ice cream. All you have to do is walk outside and the heat hit it. That shit melting already. You know what I'm saying? It can't be that soft. You can't serve this man soft serve ice cream opponents. They shit melting before the goddamn opening bell. Jesus Christ, man. He went in there and destroyed the dude. But shout out to Richard Torres, man. Shout out to Richard Torres. I'm pretty sure his opposition is going to get better as time go along. Real talk. It's going to get better. The fight of all fights, man. Emmanuel Navarrete and Oscar Valdez. I don't see this fight as being any different. Shakur Stevenson, in my opinion, made the fight look way easier than Emmanuel Navarrete. In my opinion, Emmanuel Navarrete, having the range and the height, and anybody who was back there, I always said I like how Emmanuel Navarrete fights. He does some things like the way he throws that lead uppercut, so awkward, and his angles. He has some weird angles, man. He throws some shots from the side. He done slid off to the side. He's Gumby. I gotta call Emmanuel Navarrete the Gumby of boxing, bro. Oscar Valdez is pretty much the same. Like, he'll have that high guard, and Navarrete was just so easily able to penetrate that guard. And he did the same thing with Stevenson. I like Oscar Valdez, man. Seriously, I like his heart. I've interviewed him before. That man fought with a broken jaw before. I like Valdez. Now, his team was a little bit fickled, over there in Vegas for the Shakur Stevenson fight, because I called Valdez in the right in the lobby like everybody else, and I asked a member of the team. I said, "Can I get a picture? Can I get a picture with him or whatever?" And then it was a lot of young kids. You got to let the youngins get their autographs and stuff like that. And I was like, can I get a picture with him right quick? And then a member of his team said, "If it's up to Oscar to give you a picture, he'll give you a picture." So I'm thinking they probably think I'm Radio Raheem or something, because there's no reason why you would explain that shit to me. Like, you don't know me from a can of paint, dog. They must have some people mistaken me with Radio Raheem, and he can piss some people off, real talk. But I salute Valdez for being tough in there. It's just, as short as he is, he was outside range with a lot of his power shots. The cylinders was all, all engaging. Navarrete hands was like little pistons. Them left and right was just like pistons in there, man. They was going and going, and he was touching Valdez up with, and not all just power shots either. He was just splitting the guard, touching him to the body, and he was doing it so easily. You know what I'm saying? It was a very good fight, but I wouldn't call it fight of the year shit. Nah, I wouldn't do that, man. Cause I could see if Valdez would have made it just a bit more competitive with being able to land on Navarrete with a bit more consistency. You know what I'm saying? Um, perfect example when he fought Liam Wilson. Liam Wilson, had more intrigue than climax. You know what I'm saying? Navarrete was down in round 4, Wilson down in round 9. You know what I'm saying? Like that fight was way more closer. And people are gonna look at it like, well, that's Oscar Valdez. Yeah, I know it's Oscar Valdez, but I'm just saying, like, Oscar Valdez was outworked in a lot of those rounds, man. And Navarrete was landing clean on Valdez. Sometimes that's why his eye looked the way it did. But I knew Valdez has heart, man. Valdez is heart. When you talk about Mexican fighters, you know what I'm saying? Navarrete and Valdez, goddamn it, they got heart, bro. I like it. I loved it. You know what I'm saying? I loved how they went in there and left it in the ring and went mano a mano in some exchanges, but it still was a boxing match. It wasn't a brawl. It was a boxing match, a fundamental, technically sound boxing match. But Valdez just wasn't able to calibrate his distance correctly. He wasn't able to get the timing down of awkward ass Emmanuel Navarrete. He wasn't able to do it. You know what I'm saying? He was missing with a lot of those left hooks because he seen the guy get dropped with a left hook. But hey, they knew Oscar Valdez's left hand was dangerous. They knew how lethal that shit was. They trained for it, man. Come on, bro. They trained for the shit. And when Valdez did land on Navarrete, he took it fairly well. He took it fairly well. But at the end of the day, his punch volume, his punch count was too much. The angles for which he was hitting Valdez with, the way he would just pop that jab up there through the high guard, and then go to the body and get Valdez to kind of, open up a little bit. When Valdez wanted to counter over the top, he couldn't do it. I mean, Navarrete was already in and out, gone. He was on something else. But I want to commend those two Mexican fighters. And the reason why I say Mexican fighters is because when you see two fighters like that scrap it out, people have this they have this banner that they give Mexican fighters. They have this medal, you know what I'm saying? They have this medal that they award Mexican fighters whenever they see two quality Mexican fighters. And Navarrete is a 3-weight division champion, and Valdez is a 2-weight world champion, right? They put this medal on them as being tough and fight for honor for the Mexican colors. And I like when these guys get in there and leave. Even when it comes to black fighters, any fighter, I like a good fight. But what I do know for a fact, looking at Valdez's eye, right? And looking what Navarrete did in his last fight with Liam Wilson, I know boxing fans are not going to take the same attitude they did in seeing Crawford Spence. Because Crawford, the punishment he delivered on Spence, he didn't swell up Spence's eye like Valdez. Navarrete didn't swell up Liam Wilson's eye. You know what I'm saying? Navarrete did not swell up Liam Wilson's eye. So how can he come in here and do it to Valdez? Oh, they'll say because he had a different fighting style. No, you're talking about two Mexican fighters now. They went toe-to-toe in a lot of those exchanges. And, in order for Valdez to close distance, he had to get closer within the longer, rangier, lanky Navarrete. But he swelled that man's eye almost shut. And this is why I got respect for Mexican boxing fans. I tell people how I used to go over to TJ when I was 17 years old and watch fights when I was stationed in 29 Palms. I used to go over to TJ and watch boxing fights, man, and how grimy it was. You know what I'm saying? Just getting to see Mexico. This is what they talking about, Mexico. Wow. And back then, Tijuana was bad. I mean, Marines was going over there getting robbed and all, beat up, all that shit, man, fighting and shit. Well, anyway, you know, you're talking about Mexican fan base. You're talking about them getting behind their fighters. They're used to seeing fights go down like this. Antonio Barrera and Eric Morales. You know, Eric Morales at one point in time was my favorite fighter, man. One of my favorite fighters, man. That dude was the truth. Come on, man. Look at Eric Morales' eyes out there. Look how swole his eye was, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I look at Oscar Valdez and the punishment he took, and then I kind of gauge that on the criticism that's going on with the black boxing fans about Errol Spence. It's just night and day. It's almost like it's soft. It's really super soft and very novice when it comes to seeing a tough fight. Like Oscar Valdez, I was closed, damn near shut. And you didn't see that man complaining. You didn't see, you know, his trainers freaking, you know, you saw him putting ice on it. But Oscar, he wasn't up there with shades on, trying to hide it. Man, he's a warrior, dog. Navarrete is a warrior, bro. They had, look. Man, come on. They had Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. on deck, man. They was going crazy. You know what I'm saying? They had legends on deck and they wanted to put on a show. But yet we have the Crawford Spence saga that's still playing out 2 weeks removed, right? And they're talking about how Spence face look, but yet they ain't gonna talk about how Oscar Valdez eye look. You know what I'm saying? They're not gonna talk about how Navarrete didn't do it to Liam Wilson, but he did it to Oscar Valdez. Nobody's talking about drugs and Navarrete because they're not even casual boxing fans, y'all. They're temporaries. They only study and talk about certain fighters. They're all about creating storylines. And that's easy for certain people to do, especially with bogus ass narratives. But they're not going to put together investigative process to say, this is what we're finding out. This is the evidence. They don't care about Navarrete because a lot of these dudes only support black fighters. They don't support boxing. They support black fighters. You know what I'm saying? But they don't have respect for the Mexican fan base who look at a fight like last night and they say, oh, God damn, that was a tough ass fight, man. That's what I'm talking about. Mexican. You know what I'm saying? Mexico. Viva la Mexico. You know what I'm saying? Viva la Mexico. But yeah, we got the black fight fans over here whining about Crawford Spence, bro. Spence eye wasn't even swelled up like Valdez, man. Yeah, he got some of the worst memes that's out there. His face all contorted, all that shit. But look at Valdez's eye. You think people are going to be talking about pads from Navarrete? You think they're going to be mentioning pads, y'all? You think they're going to be mentioning loaded gloves with Navarrete? Are they going to say, oh, we didn't see that with Liam Wilson? We didn't see that type of knockdown, that type of damn, punishment going on with Liam Wilson. He had loaded gloves. They're not going to talk about Gabriel Maestre because they don't give a damn about peeling back the pages of boxing. They only pay attention to certain sprinkles that can bring controversy, y'all. They're not going to talk about how Maestre actually got caught cheating and was allowed to continue to fight that night, lost the fight, but was awarded the win. Team Fox petitioned and was denied. They're not going to talk about that. But I had to line them up because of what I've been hearing, what I've been seeing. It's just pointless, man. It makes black fight fans. I know it's not all black, but you're talking about two black fighters. Us as fight fans, we're different than Mexican fight fans. Mexican fight fans, their mentality is is way different. Way different. Seriously. And blacks, we'll talk about how many black greats that we have. But then when it comes to, the Mexican fighters and talking about them being great and them being legends, they'll have something to say. Oh, the way he lost to Floyd Mayweather. Well, he lost to the. Listen, bro. This shit don't make no sense. It's not supposed to. A lot of shit that I'm hearing, a lot of bitching and complaining and whining about all these damn conspiracy theories, you don't hear from Mexican fight fans. You don't even hear from the Hispanic, Latino freaking content creators on here. And look, I will, since I watch a lot of channels and listen to them, they don't whine. It's not like they go out here and support every Latino fighter. No, they don't. I'm just saying you don't hear them up here trying to create a series where it deals with boxing drama. You know what I'm saying? You want to create these scripts where a boxer is suspected of cheating, but it can't be proved. And you go to all these segments, you create this script and write this story and have all these segments on TV to get to the final climactic moment to find out if this fighter is who they say he is. You know what I'm saying? Because he just haven't been punching like this. Or, look, one thing about Crawford and Spence, it makes good for a documentary. If somebody was following them for all these years and all the bullshit that was said and how it started to come to the surface in 2022 with negotiations after he stepped out the ring, yeah, it's good for storyline. But I want to commend Oscar Valdez and Manuel Navarrete. Good shit. But black fight fans, we need to do better. Boxing fans, rather, not fight fans, because the black MMA fans do not act the way the black boxing fans act. And that's absolutely straight up and down facts. The MMA community do not act like the boxing community when it comes to their fighters. I don't know why it's such a softness when it comes to boxing when it deals with the black fight fans, because it's not like we get behind black fighters like the Mexican get behind Mexican fighters or Latino fighters, whatever. They get behind their fighters. They'll cheer them to the end of the day. But I'm sitting up here still listening to people complain about how can I come up with more information to tear down Crawford when you got Mexican fighters out here throwing down like Oscar Valdez and Navarrete, Emmanuel Navarrete. Come on, bro. Look, check this out. You can't just say I'm mentioning this because I feel some type of way and I won't let it go. No, I look back to when I like Dog Bay. You know what I'm saying? Isaac Dog Bay, man. I like Isaac when he was coming up. But it was a bad matchup between him and Emmanuel Navarrete. And he stopped Dog Bay. And then instead of them just chilling and just really, studying and going back to the lab to work on some shit, they had to come back in there off pride, off will, you know what I'm saying, off courage, honor, you know what I'm saying, doing it for his tribe. He wanted to come back in there. He got stopped again. They're not questioning Emmanuel Navarrete in that sense. You know what I'm saying? Because he stopped Isaac Dog Bay, but he couldn't stop Liam Wilson, in an effective, damaging way like he did Oscar Valdez. You know what I'm saying? Liam Wilson's eyes wasn't swelled up. He stopped him, but his eyes wasn't like that. But Oscar Valdez, his right eye was swole all to be damned. They're not going to peel back layers like that because they don't care. They finally get two black fighters. That's on the pound for pound list. And the shit just implode outside of what we thought that was going to happen. Let's get to the damn, shout out to Team Crawford, man. You know what I'm saying? The shit went down yesterday. Congratulations to Terrence Crawford once again. I can't say it enough. Shout out to everyone that's in the chat. We sparred both of them, Trevon Marshall and Gabriel. DS111, what's good? He said, just watch Gary Antoine Russell. What up, WCS? NO on deck, I see you. Mac World 1 in the building. Shout out to World Combat Sports. Salute to you, brother. I think you out there in Omaha, I think. Salute to you, man. Ray Sanders, what's good? WCS in the chat, salute to you on deck. PM on deck. I don't know what Oscar Valdez has to do with, the PED situation. That was another fight in which the president should have took action on that, right? And answer your question, yes. But the president should have that. First of all, that has nothing to do with my summation of what I was talking about with this fight. I was speaking more so in correlation of, PM. And this is just all respect, bro. But I'm talking about the fight itself. I'm not going back in history and saying who was that. I talked about Gabriel Maestre because pretty much he was in there trying to alter his equipment. PEDS is not going to allow you to have a higher ring IQ or a freaking, this whole cache of weapons that you just create, just like this is Marvel Comics. You know what I'm saying? This is not Marvel Comics. You just can't put shit into your body and all of a sudden you turn into this mad machine like you in the Matrix. No, that's just not the way it works, bro. It's not the way it works. Seriously, it's not the way it works. So I was just basically correlating that with the news that I keep on hearing about. All these black content creators creating these accusations, these unproven accusations that Crawford was juicing and he had loaded gloves. It's just pathetic because the Mexican fan base, they can see a fight like this and they praise both fighters for throwing down. You know what I'm saying? Barrera was standing up, applauding. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they used to having wars like this, bro. They used to having wars like this. But the blacks, we have to pick and choose one side or the other. And then you go up here, your favorite fighter didn't win. You want to go up here and say the man was cheating. It's not going to change anything. Shout out to Gumby. It's fine to support black fighters, but there's an issue with the black only crowd. No doubt. I agree with that, Gumby. Shout out to Gumby on deck. Salute to you. I agree. You know what I'm saying? With the black only crowd. You know what I'm saying? I mean, because MMA is not like that. MMA, man, I always mention, the John Jones effect. John Jones had been caught, with PEDs, cocaine, freaking criminal activity, breaking the pandemic curfew. Man, some of everything, bro. When that man returned back to the cage, man, they cheer that man like he's a legend he is. You know what I'm saying? They cheer him like, oh man, that's John Jones. That's Bones Jones right there, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's Bones motherfucking Jones right there. But boxing, if you take a boxer like Jarrell Miller, Dillian White, you know what I'm saying? You take fighters who have popped dirty, fighters who have popped dirty in MMA. It's not even close, y'all. It's not even close. Man, them people still would support them. Shout out to Toby Bartlett on deck, man. What's good with you? Tell him Scott Fox was robbed badly. Absolutely, man. He was robbed. Seriously. Big shout out to the content creators that was on deck. I saw Coach Malachi over there on deck. I saw the boxing voice. I saw breaking news, KO boxing breaking news. I believe that's how you pronounce. I saw him over there. I saw Sean Porter. I like what Sean Porter was doing. He was on the side, filming the parade, doing his own freaking video. I was impressed, Sean Porter, seeing him, supporting a fighter that defeated him and was the first to stop him. But people who follow the sport know that Terrence Crawford and Sean Porter has been pretty good friends. You know what I'm saying? He didn't want to do him dirty like that. But, Crawford has this kill switch about him that when it's time to get down, it's time to get down. As Crawford said, Team Crawford get active. You know what I'm saying? So he got active on Sean Porter, but Porter was over there supporting him in the parade, man. You know what I'm saying? I saw some, you know what I'm saying, that was over there doing some media. I know I saw Ness. Him and Danny was over there before it actually got crowded. I don't know. As far as everything else that went on with the parade, man, I'm looking at it like that's legendary stuff right there. That's legendary. That parade, that the city, Omaha, through Crawford, that's legendary. Crawford, you have to consider him a legend. We can't in boxing. I'm not gonna tell you what you can't do, but I would think that you should take in consideration that it shouldn't be as difficult for us to title some of these fighters who do things that no one else has been able to do as legends. You know what I'm saying? Like we say Bernard Hopkins. Bernard Hopkins to me is not a legend just because certain people don't like the way he is and what he says. Okay. In the black community, it seems to be the course of action too many times in this boxing. I'm not talking for everybody. Okay. I'm not talking for the consensus. I'm not talking for the masses. I'm just talking for a small portion of the consensus, right? When it comes down to how certain people can be influenced. Like certain boxers don't like certain boxers. You know what I'm saying? Boxers don't like certain boxers. Okay, got it. So since I'm supporting one fighter heavy, that don't mean I can't identify another boxer as being a legend. That doesn't mean anything. Just because people don't like Roy Jones, and I might like this fighter right here today that's competing, but he might despise a Roy Jones because of what he said about Errol Spence. Do I, as a boxing fan, supposed to spite or all of a sudden turn on Roy Jones because this fighter who's actively fighting, you know what I'm saying? Something was said to him. Something was said about him by Roy Jones. So, this fighter right here, I'm going to turn my back on the legend. We got to stop just ignoring and denying these fighters their just due, just off likes, just off narrative pushing casual boxing fans. That's not cool, man. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have to say that Terrence Crawford is a legend. That was legendary shit that Omaha left him. He's 2 division. Look, a 2 division. Carissa Shields, she's a legend. Whether you want to like it or not, you want to talk about her only 2 knockouts. She ran through. And people say, oh, the competition over there in women's boxing ain't shit. Listen, they've been putting on some damn good fights, lady. Amanda Serrano, a legend, bro. Come on, if you don't get hyped up seeing Amanda Serrano fight, I don't know what to fucking tell you. I don't know what to tell you, bro. She's a 7-weight world champion, one below Manny Pacquiao, another legend. So we got to start tagging these fighters who's doing stuff and getting these accomplishments. We got to start tagging them as legends. Bud Crawford, he's a legend as you seek, as you see, as you witness. You know what I'm saying? He is a legend. I don't care what nobody say. He went up there against another pound for pound guy, Canelo Alvarez. He's a legend, bro. These guys are freaking legends. Floyd Mayweather, a legend. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. You cannot deny it. Now, when it comes to Errol Spence, he's not a legend, bro. Errol Spence is not a legend. Not just based off unifying one division and losing the titles when you stepped up and faced somebody who wasn't supposed to be the best in the division. So when I look at this parade, this chevaux, you know what I'm saying? They gave him, this was a chevaux to recognize Terrence Crawford. And if it took him 15 years to get recognition, but guess what? That's how it was supposed to go there, bud. It was supposed to go that way. But the whole fact remains that you may have to take a little bit rougher roads than most, but you endured that terrain to the point where you was able to get back on smooth ground and continue to travel that road to success. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't always smooth. You had to go up some steep slopes. You know what I'm saying? You had to go off into the rough terrains, you know what I'm saying, and climb up some things that's supposed to have been, you know, pretty easy during the travels. But you was able to still make it to them points of destination to start adding and building up your credentials. You know what I'm saying? Building up your appraisal as a boxer, building up those awards. You know what I'm saying? And you got there, my brother. You know what I'm saying? You was able to accomplish that. And the fact that you are in your heaviest division of your career, and you have stopped everybody is legendary. It's absolutely legendary. You have stopped everybody, to include the very same fighter that you was shoulder to shoulder with on the pound for pound list while they was trying to make this fight. Shoulder to shoulder with this guy. Conversation for conversation, talking point to talking point. Everybody was saying this, that, and the other. Everybody. And what makes it even more legendary is that the effect that you had on the boxing crowd. There was more people that was leaning towards you. Once this fight was made, you found out you had more fans than what people was giving you credit for. Bud Crawford had more fans than people was giving him credit for having. They was, you know, looking back at it when he was at Top Rank, everybody has a launch pad. And just because you launch off that pad doesn't mean you're going to travel to new heights right away. It might take you a longer time to reach those elevated points. But as long as you get there, you feel me? So him not talking to the media back in the day could have actually stalled or oppressed his freaking notoriety as a fighter. Yeah, no doubt about it. Because you need to go to the media. You need to talk to the media. But that's not for everybody, though. Hearing his story about how he talk about, you know, getting a whooping for everything. I know what that's like. I do. I know what that's like. I'm not just saying I'm much older than Crawford. I know what that's like. My parents was like that, both for mom and dad. It was all about the whoopings. They was all about the slapping you in the head. You know, it was all about listening to adults in the church and disciplining us for no damn reason. And you know, I would think about some of the fights that I didn't engage in elementary and high school, because back then the principal can call your parents up and say you did this, this, and this. Do you give permission? And a lot of times them principals back then here in the South was racist. Absolutely. I had a principal call me the N-word, and I was very close to punching him, which would have landed me in juvenile. Well, that man gave me a paddling. I get mad at my parents. I go home. I got an attitude. So, you know, I'm sitting up there. I know I'm about to get another whooping. Boom, get another whooping. I done got paddled by a racist principal. And then I go home and get a whooping by my parents. So I'm asking myself, who's right? Who's the dummy in this situation? So when he's talking about how he grew up and everything, how tough it was, you know, to get a whooping for everything, I know. You know what I'm saying? How adults will manipulate parents that was like that. They would come home, okay, if you put hands on their kid or anything happened, they'll tell a one-sided story because they know your parents is gonna blow it out of proportion. Hey, Mr. White, hey, so and so did this to my son. They won't even say what their son did. And dad, rest in peace. He wasn't the one to listen to both sides of the story. I'm like, they're not telling you the whole truth. And if you talk back to dad, you get popped in the mouth. But see, that kind of built me to be stronger and numb to a lot of situations. Because listen, there's been plenty of fighters I would have, liked to cover, so to speak, on a personal level. But I'm not just the one to sit up there and hee ha ha. I don't do it. I talk more online than I would in person, unless I know you. You know what I'm saying? I'm not that much of a guy who conversate. I have to be in front of the camera and all that shit. But I would have liked in my later years to cover these boxes personally. You know what I'm saying? To get that document footage and stuff like that. But I'm not going to kiss ass to do it. I'm not going to do it. That's just the way I was raised. Like, I became numb to getting slapped in the freaking face and ass whoopings to the point where I got older. Even in the military, I didn't have a circle. The ones who, I fuck with, I felt they was, the respect was mutual and they was good people, but I never rolled around a large group of people because I just felt like it was better for me to maintenance myself, to inventory myself first. And I don't have to go up here worrying about who's trying to stab me in the back. You feel me? But for Terrence Crawford, hearing that about his mother, you know what I'm saying? A lot of black men have those stories. So I'm glad he was able to learn from it, build on it. First of all, build on it, become a stronger black man off of it. And then have Omaha give him a parade the way they did and celebrate this man, acknowledge, enshrine this man's, presence, him as a Omaha native, you know what I'm saying? Enshrine him forever. And then the next one is going to be a statue. You got to give that man a statue, just like Deontay Wilder in Tuscaloosa. They have to give this man a statue when it's all said and done. You know what I'm saying? When he's up out of the sport, they should have a statue downtown somewhere. With him in there from what he's been able to accomplish, bro. He's a bad man. Bud Crawford's a bad man, no matter how you want to talk about it. That's a bad man right there, bro. And we can look at boxing and we can get used to certain fighters fighting each other, certain punches, the way they throw punches, and how fighters supposed to do this and that fight. Look, we're expecting a whole lot out of these fighters, and we're not even training them. We're not even training with them. Like, it's not easy to go in there and spar for 3-minute rounds, man. It's not easy. And then you're taking punishment. Boxing is one of the sports that you have to take punishment, both training for a fight and actual end of fight. You know what I'm saying? Muay Thai does it. You know what I'm saying? It's plenty of them you have to have, some type of method of sparring to go in there and compete. Okay. But we're talking about bigger gloves. We're talking about headgear and everything else. And it's a tough sport. You have those who are passionate and you have those who are just participants. The participants may seem like they have passion. It's not. It's just them. They're actually paying attention to certain things. And every now and then, if it's a topic or if it's a fighter that they like, they will participate in supporting that. But the ones who are passionate, in my opinion, that cover this stuff, they would try to get closer to a fighter like Crawford and find out more about, situations of him and his resume, fighters he fought, the ones that he's been able to earn championships off of. What did they accomplish? You know what I'm saying? Try to basically find out more information about his travels, his journey as a boxer. Try to understand who he is as a person if you're the ones who go to these fights. You know what I'm saying? If you go to these fights and you try to talk to Crawford, Crawford's not a talker like that. And I get it. He's not a talker like that, but the ones he do communicate with, It's his every right to do that. You know what I'm saying? He's every right to talk to who you want to talk to. But you have some individuals out here who are just straight up mad up and down that Crawford has pretty much did to them what he does to a lot of people. He's not as outspoken. He's not garrulous. So that's the crazy part about what I see. Like some people know very well that they are mad that Crawford don't communicate. He don't come in here and do interviews with a lot of regular YouTube channels. You know what I'm saying? He just don't do it. So people get mad and want to put a vendetta out on him because they want to get closer to him, and they didn't get that response. I've asked Crawford several times in person, you do an interview, and he kind of brushed me off until he gave me an interview. I haven't been able to get another one, but I'm a grown ass man, bro. I'm a grown ass man. Like, why would I be upset? I said the same thing about Deontay Wilder. I'm not sitting up here pouting and whining. I wasn't able to get certain interviews with Deontay. I try my best to get a phone interview with him. But if he chooses to support who he support, that's him. But what I know is every time I seen him in person, and when I dealt with him at the fights, you know what I'm saying? I dealt with him wherever he may be. He was a stand-up class individual. You know what I'm saying? I say the same thing for Bud. Me dealing with Bud is less how you put it, communicative than it was with Deontay, because Deontay is more of a talker. But still, those brothers was approachable. They was user friendly, and I think Bud deserves everything he gets from Omaha. We're talking about a place who don't have professional sports just raining out. And from what I understood in the parade, that I think professional volleyball is now going to be one of the sports. Cool, but you have to acknowledge B&B. You know, B&B forever have that tag, that halo above them with a 3-weight champion, future potentially a 4-weight world champion, and Bud Crawford, who went in there and shut down boxing, period. You know what I'm saying? Bud Crawford shut down boxing in a stringent way, yo. Conquest, what's good? I'm amazed what I learned through all of this. Sunday school. Appreciate everyone that's in the building. Just hit the like button. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate y'all. Crawford looks like a victorious U.S. soldier in the photos. I mean, the reason why I put these two up here with that in the background, because it's just always telling a story. You know what I'm saying? That's, you know, the real frame is Crawford was underneath that, you know, talking to the people. But you see him acknowledging he's being exalted in front of those who have supported him and those who started to support him. Not everybody that was in the crowd was hardcore Bud Crawford fans. I mean, let's not be fools about this now. But you're looking at a man in all these frames with different type of facial expressions and spirit. You know, he's showing that spirit, man. I mean, that says a lot. And then to see him in the background, congratulations, Terrence Crawford, undisputed welterweight world champion. You know what I'm saying? With the belts on and everything. That's a glorious moment, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's a glorious moment. Blunt said Gary did great for being out a year. Can't miss weight by 2 pounds. No telling. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Also, if an MMA fighter loses, he can come back. But with boxing, they're as good as finished. It's crazy how do you expect fighters to take a chance at greatness if we criticize them afterwards. You know, Bud Crawford happened to support MMA. You know what I'm saying? You see him at mixed martial arts events. So, you know, when it comes down to him and his overall portfolio, his gym has, you know, wrestling classes and, you know, MMA for what I understand, and boxing. So now you have a trifecta going on with those 3 areas of fighting. And I think it's only going to grow from there if they choose to. if they choose to keep it going, and building, expanding, it can do great things. Why? Because you have an individual that has a name and the precedence that he set as a fighter. You know what I'm saying? The precedence that he set as a fighter. I think when this is all over, I think the story still has some chapters to be written, especially if he's able to fight Jermell Charlo. That's if Jermell Charlo sticks to his word, right? That's if he's able to stick to his word. We don't know. But ultimately, he sits at 40-0 right now. And like I was saying earlier, Bud Crawford is exalted in front of his fans, his peers. Those individuals, even the content creators, they was able to go there and see him in a whole nother light. He's not in fight camp. He doesn't have to answer all the questions. Now he's doing all the talking to the fans and letting them know how much he appreciate his city, his community, his team, his family. You know what I'm saying? The boxing fans who supported him. He's letting them know, man. He looked happy to me. What kind of fighter, coming up there with a fisherman vest on and that hat. I forgot what the name was. It we call them jungles. But to keep that sun off of you or whatever while you out there fishing. He had a pair of G-Wagons up there pulling fishing boats and shit, man. Come on, bro. Come on, man. Come on, dog. I know people gonna feel a certain way about it, and they should. But what you can't do is take it away that the man didn't earn that shit. He absolutely earned all of it. And just because a person didn't want him to earn it, the longest definition you can give somebody that continues, it become an anagram or a compound. It's when you see a person like Crawford go out here and accomplish this in strict fashion, right? Dominating fashion, pure destruction. And you would think a human being that's here for the sport would acknowledge that what he did goes down in the record books. It goes down in the boxing annals as being a profound accomplishment, historic. What he was able to do to Spence was historic, even though Spence hasn't reached the pinnacle of a Crawford. He hasn't even became undisputed yet. You know what I'm saying? He hasn't even became champion in 2 weight divisions yet. But he was able to get 3 titles in 1 division, right? And just the whole hype of undisputed the welterweight division. The way, the way PBC attempted to announce this guy's a 2-weight world champion and not put his promotion on the freaking banner and not really acknowledging him being undisputed before at one point in time when they were announcing. They didn't even say he was undisputed at 140. You feel me? So it was a lot of shots being fired. So however you want to calibrate the hate, the shots was being fired, right? And you had the 2 press conference, you had mad promo, bro. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Crawford for doing, making his rounds with all these platforms and everything. You know what I'm saying? With all these platforms, he did his thing, bro. You know what I'm saying? He spoke to who he wanted to speak to, and we was up here waiting as content creators. Seriously, we was up here waiting as content creators. We was waiting for another video to come out. Okay, so I could do a reaction on that. Hey man, you gotta give him his flowers. I wouldn't say you got to. It would be fair to say that you should be at a point to give him his flowers without any compunction. Without any compunction. You know what I'm saying? It should be clear to you. It should be a clear path, like in basketball. It should be a clear path for you to say this man has accomplished what he did. It's no freaking asterisk attached to it. People could say what they want to say about, what they believe him, like the video by PBS Central that put out, and these aerosexuals is just, they was distraught. But all they had to do is look, if they wanted to get past it and clear their mind, they should have just showed up in Omaha and watched the parade play out. And then by the time they actually flew home this time, they would have been a little bit more relieved. They would have said, "Oh man, that was great. Man, I look at him different now. That was awesome. Wow." Instead of the grim reality they had leaving Vegas, the grim reality. You know what I'm saying? But we keeping it lit. You know what I'm saying? We only keeping it, lighthearted. We keeping it positive. You know what I'm saying? We keeping it productive. We want to talk about what this man has been able to do for not only himself, but for his family, Omaha, Nebraska, those individuals around him, for his team, Bomac, everybody. You know what I'm saying? Red, Esau, Steven Nelson, just all them people, burning the box, all them people that's been a contributor and was at that parade. You know what I'm saying? I would have liked for them to have a barbershop talk prior to. I know Bernie the Boxer was up there. I remember Sean Porter doing a barbershop. They had multiple camera angles, but they was much more closer, and the mics can be heard. It would have been good if they can have that moment. Bud Porter, some more people there, more of a closer camera angle, so we can hear these fighters and see them talk about certain aspects of their career, because hey, they on their way out the door, man. I know Crawford said he can probably fight. He's 45 years old. I get it. You know what I'm saying? I get it, but I don't think he's gonna fight to 45. Looking at the landscape and the competition, I don't think he's gonna do that. But it is awesome to see this play out the way it did, to see him go down in the record books, to witness greatness. Just like I said about Deontay Wilder, to witness greatness. I witnessed greatness. I wasn't able to see. I even grew up in the Muhammad Ali era too, so I was able to witness greatness there too. But with Deontay Wilder, I was actually able to witness it on a more personal scale as far as fight camps. Nobody can take that away from me. Nobody can take that away. I was able to see this guy in person, several of his fights and training and all that. I was able to see Bud in person. I was able to witness greatness of him as a fighter. You know what I'm saying? So, and then being able to cover him, and everything else. Hey, man, it's a tough game out there, man. But shout out to him and Errol Spence, Bud Crawford and Errol Spence, for it takes two to tango, so to speak. And both of them was able to make the fight as black fighters, as professional fighters, and as 2 pound for pound best fighters in the welterweight division. It's good. You got to give a salute to both of them. But in the reality of it all, just like I said earlier, there can only be one winner when the history books is talked about. You know what I'm saying? No matter how many insults they attempt to zip line into the parade, you can't do it. Nobody was gonna stop that. Nobody. Hey, no matter how you try to prorate what he's been able to accomplish, it won't work. It won't work. People gonna look at it like, well, why are you saying that, man? He beat that man fair and square. No, man. When it come down, he ain't never did that to somebody. He ain't never did this. He ain't never did that. He ain't never hit nobody like this, bro. Errol Spence ain't never fought nobody like Terrence Crawford. That's what they were saying, right? Errol Spence ain't never fought nobody like Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford ain't never fought nobody like Errol Spence. That's what's the whole deal right there. Let's not forget it. Let's not try to spoof it and make it into something it ain't. We're talking about that was the narrative leading up to the fight. Because this man is celebrating with his people. He earned it. And I will continue to laugh at the aerosexuals, man. No doubt about it. Period. Will Phase One, what's good? What's good? Salute to you being on deck. Hella on deck. Did you catch the Blu-ray interview? I wasn't really looking for Blu-ray. I know he's talking and trying to break down boxing. And I know I caught one of his interviews on how he said he was hurt that Errol Spence left. I mean, not left. Errol Spence freaking lost. Both of them start with an L rather. I was close. But I heard Blu-ray talk about how he felt this, that, and the other about the loss. He say, he was hurt about it. Of course, he has a connection with Errol Spence. Okay. But as far as hearing, I seen it on the timeline, but to be honest, I haven't watched it. Right. I don't know what interview you're talking about. But to hear him try to break down a fight or whatever the case may be, he's not a trainer. There's people that love to break down fights. There's people that love to do 100 predictions before a fight, but the fight is going to play out the way it plays out. If you do a prediction and you talk about 20 different things that's going to happen in that fight, but only one happens, and people come in here, see, I told you that one, that 19 was wrong, but I got that one now. I mean, I'm like, I don't know about that. But anyway, nothing against Blu-ray, man. I think Blu-ray should get back in there and train Errol Spence for. I said that already. I think Blu-ray should get back in there and break Errol Spence. Yeah, break him out of the bad habits that he got. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about get Blu-ray back in there to break Errol Spence out of the bad habits that he's currently in, and get him locked condition-wise earlier. Because if you're going to go back in there and fight a GOAT like Crawford, to be honest with you, I mean, I'm not a daycare worker, but I never heard a bunch of adults sit up here and bitch and whine and cry and pout and throw all these tantrums. Like I said before, keeping it on a Sunday morning, you know what I'm saying? With the Holy Spirit. Yes, Lord God Almighty. I just want Errol Spence to be more competitive the second time out, because there was a lot that I still wasn't able to see with Bud Crawford. You know what I'm saying? The great Bud Crawford. It's a lot that I haven't been able to see. I really want somebody to tap in to as a boxing fanatic. I want to see what is the barometer. How can we grade Terrence Crawford's barometer as far as how many levels he got? We know there's levels as far as boxing IQ. I get it. But I want Errol Spence to be a lot more in shape to be competitive, because I want to see more from both fighters, but more so to the fact of what happens when Errol Spence is just a little bit more of Terrence Crawford. I want to see the amazement. You know what I'm saying? I want to see it, man. This dude is special. For real. I want to see the magic. I want to see more magic. The boxing IQ is not even close. But I want Errol to be in better shape. I told you the two people that should be back in the camp is the two original people that was, matter of fact, let me show you the picture. This is what they should go back. If Spence look, I'm gonna show you. This is what I do, right? Hold up. I'm gonna show you. Where you at? I know I am. I know I still got you. Hold up for a second. Where your picture at? Be patient, man. Can y'all hit the like button for me? You know what I'm saying? Y'all choose to donate, that'll go to Cash App, and those who donate to the channel, appreciate you. Well, I'm trying to find this picture right quick. Hold up. Where you at? Where you is? Let's see. Damn, man. What the hell? I know for a fact I had that joint up in here, man. Y'all do me a favor, hit the like button. Stay focused. Stay focused, shawty. For real, stay focused. Y'all need to stay focused. Don't get out of focus. Stay focused. Stay focused. I'm about to let y'all see something right quick. So, who put that up there? Let me see who put that up there. Who asked me that? Shout out to Mark Nash TV in the building. What's good with him, Mark? D-Ray Promotions on deck. I see you. What's good? Let me go back up here. So, somebody asked me, did I catch the Blu-ray interview? And this is what I say on that. When people say that I want, I mean, people ask me tomorrow, why you want Blu-ray to come back over there? I say, like I always say, in competition, I never wanted somebody, when I was in track and all that, I never want nobody to just come up there and be a lame duck. You know what I'm saying? In competition, combat sports, you always wanted to contend against somebody that was absolutely, healthy, right? So being that we've already been able to witness that Crawford is on a whole nother level, he's the better fighter between him and Spence. Per the contract, they do have a future date that they can step back in the ring together. In light of what I've been listening to, right, and seeing, hearing, I want to let you all know that I'm absolutely advocating for Blu-ray, for Errol Spence to return back to the original, the original of his team. You know what I'm saying? He needs to add 2, subtract 1, add another. Okay? Add 2, subtract 1, and add another. And this is what I mean by that. All right? You know what it is. So this picture right here, right? He needs to add Blu-ray and get our TBA back in there. He needs to subtract Derrick James and add another coach in there. And I hear people talking about, they just fired Derrick James. Listen to me. Anthony Joshua was doing the exact same thing Spence was doing in the fight with freaking Bud Crawford. Y'all, they want to sit up here and marvel at Anthony Joshua using a touch jab and then another jab just to get in and land the overhand or land the freaking right hand. Well, goddamn, the same thing was going on with Spence. He wanted to try to come in with the right, and then come over the top with the left. What was the difference? Terrence Crawford wasn't Robert Helenius. Anyway, back to the picture. Shabri, Correa back in there. And when he walks out next time, he need to bring Yellow Beezy back out, since that's his boy. He been knowing him for a long time. Bring Yellow Beezy back out with whatever that shit gonna sing and get the crowd. But he need a hype man in there. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure our TBA has grown since then. He's matured like all of us. So you get Blu-ray back in there, for the conditioning. You get the media aspect. Because look, you're on the back end of your career. You need to bring back some components that people identified you for early in your career. So I'm pretty sure Correa has learned a lot more in the media biz. So if I was Spence, I'd just say, fuck it. I really need to go back retro style and get some people back in here. The only reason I say that is because there's nothing wrong with having somebody in there to talk shit and get you to a whole state of mind. Because, Errol Spence was, he was talking his shit. He was defending, Iowa at one point in time. Also, Blu-ray. I believe he had respect for Blu-ray, but Derrick James wanted Blu-ray out of there because he was getting all that attention. People started to tune in to my who is this guy Blu-ray? Who is this guy Blu-ray? I think he should rehire Blu-ray. I think he should. I think he should, add them two components with IOTBA, Blu-ray Fitness, and then get another coach, disappear like he said, get another coach, and really go through hell. This is your chance for you to come back and prove to the fans that you let down and disappointed. Prove to them that Terrence and that you better than the one that fought Terrence Crawford the first time out. Because we want to see a mega clash again. You know what I'm saying? We want to see a mega clash, man. Crawford is up on you 1-0. He took your belts. He's up on you 1-0, bro. You're going to have to figure it out. Seriously, you're going to have to figure it out. In the meantime, Spence, he's on Twitter saying, you niggas scary who raised you, get chased home from school as, once again, back to the parade. I mean, Crawford's up here speaking in front of his town. I mean, his city and everything being praised and exalted and acknowledged. And while Spencer's up here on Twitter mad as hell, he should be. He should be mad. Real talk. He should be mad. His fans should be mad. I know I pretty much rub it in their eyeballs. It's okay though. They'll get past it. This too shall pass. But all I'm saying is, who are we to glorify the villain when you refuse to, condone that amongst your own family and friends? The shit that Spence was doing, I say all the time. These are people that's up here that won't even condone it for their own kids. Their own kids out here smoking and drinking and getting in trouble and barely getting their homework, failing in school. And they'll sit up here and say, oh, man, you're on punishment. I'm going to beat your ass. I'm going to do this. But they get on YouTube and they praise the shit that Spence was able to do. They praise it. And then they want to be the leaders of all leaders in front of their children and their relatives and loved ones and friends, right? But they want to be the dumbest and ignorant individuals on the YTC. I don't see how that works. The stuff y'all saying about this man in post fight, when you should be giving him his flowers and praising and saying, you know what, I'm gonna congratulate you the right way. Y'all up here saying some shit like this man is juicing. He has loaded gloves. You're trying to make him out to be one of the biggest cheats. And if they had any sense, Tyson Fury, he even gave you more evidence to look like something was going on with his gloves. But did they strip him of the WBC title? No. Have y'all even looked at, the water bottles that's being used in this fight? Huh? I mean, I got my tit for tat too. I'm just curious. Does it supposed to be a clear water bottle or a Gatorade bottle? I don't know. Y'all tell me. I don't see the aerosexuals talking about that. Was Errol Spence receiving some type of liquid that wasn't authorized from a certain bottle? Do y'all know what I'm talking about or not? I'm just curious. I'm not saying that's the truth. It's just something that I've seen out there that, these aerosexuals not talking about. But in the reality, I'm not going to make it about them because, it's a big salute, man, a grand salute to Bud Crawford and his people and those of you that's able to be on deck to witness that. You know what I'm saying? Y'all was there to be able to witness that. So that's what my point of that's what my point of acknowledgement is. You know what I'm saying? I want to keep it highlighted on him, not too much the aerosexuals, because the aerosexuals are tuned in, but they looking at this thumbnail right here. Please, I suggest you go to the IG, you know what I'm saying? Check out all the video that's out there of the parade. Check out all the videos so y'all can see the glory, how they was out there celebrating. Yes, sir. The glory of it all, man. That shit was great. That shit was great. I ain't gonna lie to you. It was good. Hold on for a second. I'm gonna show y'all something else too. I mean, just so we can help them out. We gotta continue to educate. They refuse to congratulate, so I'll continue to educate. You know what I'm saying? I'll continue to educate for real. But that's in the way I look at it. I think he should add those two components back to his stable, get lit, turn up, put himself in a whole different mindset. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what he had when he fought Carlos Ocampo. That was before everything spiraled out of control. You know what I'm saying? That was when he was on a freaking streak. I'm just saying, get some energy, get some decor back in there. Fuck it. You on your last run in boxing, bro. Put some decor back in there. Let a cat be able to have full reign to covering you as media. Have Blu-ray in there. He gets covered too. Blu-ray has since matured since then. He's still out there. I really want to see the dynamic boost up for both fighters so you can make good money on the second go round too. Crawford, you're not gonna be able to enhance what he got. He already got what he got, man. Everybody's everywhere trying to get an interview with this guy. It's a wrap. You, Spence, you left behind in the dust, man. You're gonna have to get some people around you to bring you back to the light, dog. To bring your ass back to the light. You know what I'm saying? Seriously. The only cat I know that was back there on media that was talking about you the way he was talking about you as far as, bigging you up and everything was correct. So you need to put him back in the motherfucking stable 24 and goddamn bring Blu-ray on there. Get the aerosexuals focused on something else. There's a lot of aerosexuals that was infatuated with Blu-ray fitness. So get that bro back in there. Let him get you in the shape so you can be stronger. So you want, your strength conditioning coach failed you, man. He was giving you exercise to get you off the canvas. I told you. But now Blu-ray can goddamn do you the exercises to keep you off the canvas. So when Crawford crack you, maybe this time you can stay on your feet a little bit better. Blu-ray can get them legs stronger. You know what I'm saying? He can get that conditioning right. Because goddamn it, Crawford was beating your ass from pillar to motherfucking post, shawty. Where's that damn photo I had? Where's that shit at? Where are you at? Where are you at, man? Spence never fought anybody like Crawford. It showed. Absolutely. Diddy has been loving the attention he's been getting in the UK this weekend and fight week. Grumpy Diddy has been happy Diddy, still doing interviews 2:00 a.m. this morning. Hey, man, look, we know UK boxing is different than US boxing. And Derek, the crazy part about it is that Anthony Joshua did the exact same freaking punch combo, punch setup that Spence was doing. Nothing different. He was just in there with a different opponent who chose to lay up on the ropes. But the difference is that when Crawford was on the ropes, that same punch that came from the left hand from Spence did not land on Crawford like that, as flush as it did. I'm not saying it didn't land, but it didn't land as flush because Crawford stuck him with an uppercut. I mean, Crawford obviously is not Robert Helenius, right? Robert Helenius allowed that shot to land in the most devastating way. Crawford, on the other hand, he was inflicting so much freaking punishment on Spence, and he was in such great condition that when Spence did land the shot, he wasn't able to do any damage because they were saying that before the fight, Crawford was so chinny, right? He was so chinny. But the only one that was getting off the canvas was his opponent. That's all. It's a picture that I had out here of the bottle that they had, Team Spence had during the fight. And it was a Gatorade bottle. You know what I'm saying? I say, when did that become authorized? If they want to talk about certain aspects that's don't look right per se. You know, people up here trying to say, insinuate and accuse this man of cheating. You know what I'm saying? But when you look at everything else that was going on with the parade, it's a lot more pictures that's out here, you know, that you can catch on IG. A lot of pictures. Shout out to Coach Malachi, man. He seemed like he was out there having fun. You know what I'm saying? Rolling down the street. You know what I'm saying? In a legendary moment. You know what I'm saying? It was a legendary moment to be, you know, in that scene, on that scenery, rather, in a legendary moment. You can't take that shit away, man. That was a legendary moment. They up here toting fishing boats down here because, you know, Team Spence wanted to say they the big fish. You know what I'm saying? They the big fish. And then you sit up here and tell that to a guy who loves fishing. Crawford loves fishing. So he went up here and had a Steven Nelson, a one-of-one design. You know what I'm saying? He had a Steven Nelson one-of-one design outfit and came in there with a fishing net, C-clamp to his battle guard. He had nets on his shorts and nets on his shoes. So even if he was stumping out the fish, he'd still be able to catch it. Look at this right here, man. Look at that. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Shakur Stevenson, shout out the two-weight division. You know, unified at 130. The emperor himself, Shakur Stevenson. I'm pretty sure he's looking to have his moment in the future. Shakur Stevenson, man, I'm telling you, he's going to have his moment too. He's under the guidance of one of the best ever to do it. You know what I'm saying? One of the best ever to do it. Real talk. Real talk, shawty. Boxing Fan Talk said the TBC era is such a great time to be in it. It is what it is. Greetings, WCS, and the hottest chat on the YTC. Man, no doubt, man. It is a great time to be. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Boxing Fan Talk on deck. It is a great time to be able to witness this, especially for me. You know what I'm saying? I'm much older than a lot of them cats. So, you know, I don't know where I'm going to be at in about 10 years. You know what I'm saying? But I was able to witness this. You know what I'm saying? I was able to witness a lot of things in boxing, even with the heavyweight division. Deontay Wilder was able to witness that. Spence need to go back to the future and get the old band back together. That's what I'm saying, man. He need to get the media. Look, I think, you know, people already know, you know, the media aspect of it on who he was with back then. So that's what I'm saying. He should bring them back because they was rocking heavy with one another. And then, you know, bring back Blu-ray, who he was rocking heavy with, that was able to whip him into shape. I think Blu-ray right now, being the way he's saying, he have a lot more deeper passion for Spence, seeing areas that he probably look at as like he's seeing weak in there. He could barely stand on his feet. Just think about it. Crawford was putting them hammers on Spence, and he was still getting up, though. You know what I'm saying? He was still getting up. And look, I'm trying to do anything possible because, like I said, I'm not a daycare worker, bro. I'm trying to come up with suggestions to help out the aerosexual community. I want to see him be more competitive for the second ass whooping he gonna get. That's all. He needs some people in his camp to get him back, to bring it out to the social media, bro. You know what I'm saying? There's only one person that can do that was with him. Bring IO on the media aspect on what his platform is. Get him back in there to talk his shit. You know what I'm saying? Stroll up the articles, get Blu-ray back in there to get the damn push-ups and pull-ups and all that shit right. Get him to, get that man in a tip-top condition, muscled up and everything. So when these two bulls go back in there and clash in the rematch, Crawford will even get more credit. You know what I'm saying? Because damn, he did make it look easy. All 7 of his defenses, dog. So I'm like, damn, get certain individuals back in there to get this man in shape. So that they won't going around here bitching and moaning all goddamn day, bro. Shout out to Town Biz, man. What's good? What a man in town from Arizona. Salute to you, bro. Frontline in the building. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to you. Solid work. I know you enjoyed them fights out there, Town. I wonder what it is that Blu-ray said he saw in Terrence Crawford before the fight. Man, hey, when they say they saw this or that in Terrence, I always go back to what Mikey Garcia said he saw in Errol Spence. Because either way it goes, man, shit. I don't know what type of lens they had on when they entered the ring. Real talk. But they must have had their eyes dilated from all them punches that was popping them in the face. You know what I'm saying? They might have had some eye issues going on. You know what I'm saying? They might have missed their last optometry appointment to go in there and get their shit checked out. And they say, Mr. Garcia, you sure you want us to dilate your eyes? Because you have to walk into the ring and your vision won't be as clear as you think. Yeah, I'm good. I work out, my body's stronger. I can get my vision clear up better than most because I'm a top athlete. No, it don't have anything to do with athlete. We're talking about the eyes now. I know you say you see something in Spence and you want us to dilate your eyes, so that, yeah, go ahead and do it. I want to know what Mikey Garcia saw. I would like to know what Blu-ray seen, because I remember him saying that to me. I saw something. What did you see? Bro, you're not a boxing coach. You're a strength conditioning coach. You know what I'm saying? And right now, Larry Wade is producing results. I sent him a message on IG on one of his posts, and I gave him a new motivational speech because he has motivational speeches all the time, motivated quotes and so forth. And that's a good guy, Larry Wade. Shout out to Larry Wade, man. I said, your work has its own language. Hashtag results. And it's true. Larry Wade's work has its own language. Hashtag results. You get results. Blu-ray is going to have to have an understanding to come in there and know how to get results. You know what I'm saying? He's going to have to know how to gradually acclimate Spence back into the training regime to keep him injury free. That's extremely important, to keep him injury free, to build him up, then to get him on the right mindset to be a stronger fighter. Because no, real talk, I want these two brothers to go in there and for the shit to be way more competitive, because Crawford gave everything I thought he would. He went in there and whooped his ass, man. But due to the backlash and all the nefarious type actions that I'm seeing from the aerosexuals, we need somebody back, like Blu-ray back in the fray, man. Back in the lab to get Spence stronger, to get him stronger, to take this to the championship rounds. You know what I'm saying? So we can see both fighters mano a mano. This fight right here wasn't, look, July 29th wasn't mano a mano. You know what I'm saying? It was Dono y Dono. He's done, sir, done. Dono a Dono. Real talk. Coach said that victory parade was lit. Bud had both of his fishing boats, fishing nets, and Miss Deborah cooked deep fried catfish. We didn't get any sleep for 2 days. I can believe it. I saw them in there playing spades, man. Took me back to the South, man. Spades, man. Just having a spade game, having a plate, fried fish, some motherfucking fries, some drink in that motherfucker. That's the way you're supposed to celebrate, man. I'm saying the room was dimly lit. You know what I'm saying? The room was dim lit, and you had like a bulb over the table and shit. Like, I'm just saying, man. That's the way I kind of grew up. That I like that setting over there. You know what I'm saying? It was good that you was able to experience that moment, though. That catfish looked good too, man. I bet you didn't bring none back for the other, content creators that wasn't able to be a part of that shit, because we was waiting for some motherfucking more fish, man. The difference between the fish we was eating leading up to the fight and the fish we was having during the fight and after the fight, it wasn't for Omaha, man. We wanted some of that Omaha fried fish. We wanted some fish straight from Omaha, dog. Tupperware. Could have brought back some Tupperware or some shit. Aluminum foil, wrap that shit up. Maybe about goddamn 60 pieces. Wrap that shit up in goddamn aluminum foil, put it in damn Tupperware, and put that shit in. Hey, bring it back as a carry-on, dog. Damn. We had to salivate off that motherfucker. We had to sit here and salivate, man, knowing that there was a fish fry going on. July 29th looked more like a tune-up. It did. But shout out to Coach, man, for going over there, being on the parade and shit, man. You know what I'm saying? That was a grand moment over there in Omaha. KMT TV, KMTV3, I think. They did some news coverage on it. That shit was all over the news. Everything. You know what I'm saying? For real. That was good shit. So you got to ask yourself, where do we go from here? I told you where we go. You know what I'm saying? I told you where we at with it. There's not enough congratulations, coming out that moment this past weekend that can be spoken on today. I know some cats still recovering from that. That's where it's supposed to be. Real talk. When you go to an event like that, you're not supposed to be able to recover to like 3-4 days. Your body should just get back right, for real. Seriously. I mean, you that's when you're supposed to just let it all out, man. Like, damn, I've been talking about this shit for weeks and weeks. You should be in a state of mind per the celebration days after that shit. Seriously. Your body should be like, God damn, man, God damn. Man, that's abuse. Shit, can I just get some rest? No, nigga, we're gonna do another 15 hours. Then God damn, who do I report this to? Can I file a complaint? I just want to rest my eyes. This nigga on some bullshit. Damn. But man, we're gonna keep on. It's Sunday, man. It's always something to do on a Sunday. But I just want to give a big shout out to Omaha in general for recognizing him, and whoever made this happen. I think they was talking about the mayor. Whoever made this parade happen, great work. You know what I'm saying? Great work. People was talking about it should have been floats and all that. Listen, no, not that one. It's just the way it should be. Goddamn, tow the fishing boats down the motherfucking street and let them know you caught the big fish. The only thing they didn't have was a freaking a big ass fish in the sky emulating Moby Dick in a net. That's it. They had everything else. They had the fishing boats, man. What else do you want? You know what I'm saying? The only thing they could have had is Moby Dick in the freaking air with a net over it. You know what I'm saying? With a lot of little itty bitty aerosexuals hanging on to the net. No, no, you're doing too much. No, get Moby Dick out the net. He's doing too much. That's the only thing that was missing. You know, you could have hired maybe about 15 aerosexuals to hang off the net that Moby Dick was in. You know what I'm saying? As the parade is slowly creeping down the boulevard, I think that would have sent the picture. That would have topped it off. Real talk. That's the only thing that was missing. Moby Dick in the net with some aerosexuals holding on to the net, screaming, "No, let Moby Dick out. Let Moby Dick out. Let him out." No, that's the only thing right there. So overall, it still was great though. I just thought it could be a little bit more vivid. You know what I'm saying? A little bit more vivid now. Even if you couldn't get some real human aerosexual, you could have got some freaking some dummies, like some stuffed dummies or whatever. People to, you know, some statues or some freaking stuffed, I want to say you know, just got some shit that they specially made to emulate or look like human beings hanging off the net trying to rescue Moby Dick. I think that would have did it right there. I think that would have gave you the dream that you was looking. That would have set the climactic moment right there. Seriously, if they could have had a plastic blown up Moby Dick in a net with aerosexuals hanging off that motherfucker, goddamn, you know, trying to rescue Moby Dick. Seriously. I can go a little bit more in detail, but I'm not going to. You know, I don't want to turn into something that's outside what my intentions were with this thumbnail. But shout out to the legend himself, Terrence Crawford. You know what I'm saying? 2-time undisputed. You have these guys up here talking about they just don't understand their Terrence. They understand. Look, I guess that's why you are considered to be at a top 2% of athletes that compete at the highest level of greatness. Because you know, even though they have the video footage, right? And they're able to hit replay their Terrence, they still can't understand how you was able to go out there and perform like that. They're not quite getting it. Like it's almost like they have mental health issues going on. Real talk. I mean, seriously, they got mental health. That shit has deteriorated, corroded so bad. I mean, they're going to a stage of degenerate. You know what I'm saying? That shit has corroded. What you did on July 29th for 2 weeks now, they should have been corroding away because they are on camera. You know, I just look at that right there, man. When has he ever did? I can't understand how and how can he ever do that? Like they don't get it. Do y'all understand that? They cannot process it on how he's been making these fights look so easy. So instead of them just giving the man credit, they go out here and say, no, no, no. It's just like these alcoholics that be in the AA meeting and you have to introduce yourself. Hi, my name is Rick and I'm an alcoholic. See, they're at that point where they just don't want to admit that they are a Bud Crawford hater, aka, you know, they are aerosexual, right? Hello, everyone. I'm an aerosexual. You know, they don't want to do that. But to hear these videos be so intensive, to say, I just don't understand how. That's the power that was on full display July 29th at the T-Mobile Massacre. They're on here saying, no, I don't understand like how he was able to bust up this man's face so early. And they say this man never knocked down nobody in the second round before, which is a lie, right? They're boiling over, man. What I'm going to do after I get off this live, maybe I'll put a thumbnail up on IG for a hotline they can call. I'm going to try to find out a hotline that can pretty much provide these aerosexuals with the resources. Because now looking at this parade that was going on in Omaha, I know there's a lot more of them that's in bed. I mean, they're just bedridden right now. They're stupid drunk, high, they're bedridden because the parade went the way it did. Man, I don't know. I think it was millions of people out there. You know what I'm saying? I think it was more people at the parade than was at the T-Mobile Arena. Oh man, I think the city was just all avenues, all streets was blocked off. Just like goddamn Errol Spencer's fight plan. Everything was blocked off. Crawford was like, nope, go that way. Nope, go that way right there. Nope, go back over there. Go that way. Go that way. Go that way. That way. That way. I mean, every way that Errol Spence wanted to turn, the streets was blocked off. So now we have to take it upon ourselves as Team Crawford is to evaluate the casualties. I never wish this upon nobody. But in closing, I am a vet at the end of the day. I am a vet. I'm going to call some of my colleagues, comrades, and see can we get together a team to help them recover. Because once again, hearing all this, man, is just torment, bro. It's torment for them. And if they continue to do it, it's going to turn into something disastrous. All right. So y'all be on the lookout, man. I'm going to try to find out a hotline. I'm going to try to get together some of my comrades to kind of get this shit together. I really want to put forth the effort, bro, to do something that's beneficial to bringing them back to life. It's troublesome. I'm not gonna lie, it's troublesome. You know, just to listen to how they was explaining the situation. Like, when did Crawford ever do this to anybody? How could he do it to you know what I'm saying? The possibility of him treating their ruler, their God, their conqueror, the way he did in a legal sanctioning bout, which he cannot be punished for the violence that he committed. That is what's disturbing to them. They just don't want to let it go, y'all. They don't want to go. They're up here looking up at the skies, y'all. Look, for the first time in their life, they're able to actually hear the birds chirping. That's how dead they are inside. They're actually able to hear the birds chirping. And the birds are actually making sense to them right now. Dummy. 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 Oh man, you aerosexuals, you! I swear to God, man. Errol Spence fans think Crawford cheated by wearing invisible brass knuckles inside his glove. Hey, only thing I can say, Sebastian, is this: Derrick James felt the gloves. He molested Terrence Crawford's gloves. Terrence Crawford should use them as evidence and file charges against Derrick James. Because Derrick James molested that man's glove, fumbled the hell out that motherfucker. Now, you want to talk about conduct and disorderly at that. Come on, man. Questionable. Where's Chris Hansen when I motherfucking need him? Chris, I got a story for you. That Diddy James right there. Did you see it? What did you think about it? You know what I'm saying? He molested the shit out of Crawford's glove. Real talk. He molested the shit out of Crawford's right glove. It just so happened that's the lead hand in the southpaw position. Just so happened that hand right there was just doing so much damage. It was committing so much violence. Derrick James molested that shit at the end, looking at Crawford in his eyes. You know what I'm saying? He's like, let me get that. Let me get that right there. Let me feel that right there. Yeah. He was molesting the shit out that glove. Let me feel the knuckles. I need to feel the knuckles now. I need to feel the knuckles. Because the guys, no, nigga, you ain't beating up my fighter like that. Take your socks off right quick. I need to see if you got something in your feet. You know, you was getting some extra freaking, range on that jab. I need to see if you got some extra devices and some arch supports or something, some spring-loaded arch supports in your shoes, nigga. The way you was moving with that jab, hell no, man. Fuck that. That ain't real. That ain't real. Hey, Mikey, you got a minute? I know you said you saw something. I saw something too. But let's talk about what both of us seen and then see. You know what I'm saying? Because both of y'all got your ass whooped just about the same. But you went the distance and Errol didn't. And Errol, Errol's a better fighter than. It's not about you, Mikey, but I'm just saying, what did you see in there with Spence? What did you see? And then it seemed like Crawford gloves was loaded. Yep. I felt them motherfuckers up and down too. I felt them up and down. But did you see something? Did you find something? Man, I felt something. I don't know what it was. It might have just been his hand, though. Yes, it might have been his hand. His hands will be in the gloves. Oh, that's what that was. Oh, shit. You're right, Mikey. His hands was in the glove. And the motherfucker's big as shit, too. God damn it. You smart, man. That's okay. I know why I called you up. They see but do not understand. Did you mention where the city is giving him a tract of land adjoining the gym to expand the kids off the street? Okay, I did not know that. Bruce Cats, Boxing Jackson Moore, the OG in the building. What's good? He said, did you mention where the city is giving him a tract of land aligning his gym to expand to keep kids off the street? That's what's up, man. Commendable, man. Salute to that. Appreciate that information there, Bruce. Appreciate that information. Real talk. That's what's up. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. That's how you know what I'm saying? You support one of your own, man. Giving them kids. See, the bad thing about a lot of them gyms that was doing the same thing way back when I was growing up, they didn't stay in business. They man, you would never know a gym was right there, first of all. Man, our boxing history is just, man, that's just dissolved, man. I mean, you got gyms down here, but man, come on, bro. It's bad. I wonder if James hurt his hand in the process. No, I'm just thinking that he went overboard. Look, if you look at it there, 111, is that he had his mouth open. He just looked weird, strange when he was doing that shit. I bet he wasn't talking that I bet he wasn't trying to feel Joshua's glove. You know what I'm saying? I bet he wasn't trying to feel Joshua's glove and make sure everything was good with Joshua's glove, because karma is a bitch, real talk. Because Joshua didn't do anything that was so spectacular. The knockout was beautiful, but Derrick James is teaching his fighters to do the same shit. Joshua's getting beat up just like Spence was. I bet nobody's up there talking about what was in Robert Helenius' gloves, because Joshua had 2 swollen eyes off Robert Helenius, who only threw 6 punches around or whatever. Come on, man. It's the coach, man. Come on, bro. I'm trying to help y'all out. I'm trying to be humanitarian. I'm trying to do philanthropy work. I'm trying to expand outside the YTC when I get behind the mic. I'm saying bring back the original. Get new energy into that fight camp. We want to be competitive. That's what we want. That's what we want at the end of the day. Man, y'all hold it down. Continue to support the channel, man. Big salute to the hottest chat in the MF and game, man. A-Side official salute. And y'all continue to support. Hit the like button out the door. I'm out.